Creating a miniature farm display takes patience, creativity, and major attention to detail. But the results, they're captivating.
I'm Seth Eberhardt, and this is my model farm display and model grain elevator over on the other side. I've got about 500 hours in this display. It actually started out just as the buildings, and one thing led to another, and I ended up with an entire display here. These are buildings that I just designed and built on my own. They're not based off of any particular building, just something I just started out doing just for fun, and it really took off from there. The barn was the very first part that I built. I did that probably about 14 years ago. It's all cedar deck boards that I ripped down on the table saw. So I built it just like the real thing, the way the actual building would have been built. Same thing with the pole barn. I built it just like the real building, and I just try to put in as much detail as possible. What I wanted to do was make it something you could just look at for an hour and still not see everything. That was my goal. Ever since I was real little, I always had toy tractors that I played with, and I always had the miniature farms, and I was building my own buildings out of cardboard. And as I got older, we always went to the toy tractor show in Dyersville, and I always loved the model farm displays up there, and eventually decided I thought I could do something like that, and one thing led to another, and here we are. That's a model of the elevator that's still standing in Mediapolis, Iowa, my hometown. It's no longer used, but like I said, it's based off the real building. I don't even know exactly how I decided to build that as a model, but to start out, I took about 200 pictures of the actual building and about 50 pages of drawings and measurements. And the same thing, I just wanted it to be as accurate and detailed as I could. One of my favorite details on that elevator would probably be the basement. I got all the electrical equipment down there, and there's grain milling equipment. I just really like the way that part turned out. I do get a lot of questions. Everybody wants to know how I make all the metal pieces. My full-time job, I'm a mechanic, do small engine and diesel repair. That's kind of obvious from looking inside the shop building. I've got several tractors tore down, just like the real thing, like the kind of jobs I do in real life. That kind of carries over into my hobby here. And mainly it's just a lot of evenings and weekends that go into these projects. The elevator was about 2 years worth of evenings and weekends pretty much. It's pretty much all the spare time I had. I actually approached the fair. I just thought this might be a good place to display it and let a lot of people see it. With Iowa being a major agricultural state, I think there's a lot of people here that really appreciate it and understand it. And so I just thought this would really be a good place to show it. I've got lots of ideas. My biggest problem is we've got our basement full, and I've run out of space to put anything else. So I'm gonna have to build a real building next, I guess.